Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. You know, I just talked a whole bunch and I hadn't hit record. So, it's that kind of day. It's a Monday, but it's also a Monkey Monday. And I haven't done a video for this sweet face in probably a couple months, and that's not acceptable to me. I've been wanting to go through some of the interviews that Stacey did, specifically with Brooks on CLL, Crime Lines and Lies, which you guys know is my favorite stream here on the internet, on the YouTube streets, whatever you want to call it. And she did a fantastic job. And I've listened to it the first time, I listened to it live, and then I've listened to it a couple other times. I've come up with some timestamps I kind of want to play and just go over. Again, if you have not listened to these interviews and you are one of Monkey's army and you are okay with listening to him, because I know some people don't want to hear what he has to say. That's up to you. But if you really do want to hear what Stacey has to say, please go over to CLL, and I will be linking obviously to her in the information of the video. Please go over there and listen to these interviews in their entirety. They are excellent, and she did a great job. But my quick thoughts are, we're going to jump right into about halfway through, I'm thinking, somewhere in that point of video, the first interview, the first part. And we kind of jump into where we talk about the fact that Sarah wanted a baby. And Stacey was impotent. He can't give her a baby. Of course, we all heard Brandon say that a bull stepped on his nuts or balls or whatever. I don't know what the hell crap that is. Stacey never rode a bull. I could pretty much tell you that. Now, he may have been, I don't know, like one of those clowns or whatever, rodeo clowns, but no, Stacey never rode a bull. I could pretty much say that probably with most certainty. But I believe my thinking is Michael was out playing, looking for friends. Stacey got fed up with Sarah sleeping with Brandon to get pregnant, and it became decided that they were going to find Sarah a child. And Michael, unfortunately, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Obviously, there's much more to it, but that's kind of in a nutshell what I believe. So let's just dive right into, like I said, I'm going to play some just key points here. This is part 1 of the interview with Stacey Wondra and Brooks from CLL.
Okay, this is going to be a tough question, and you don't have to answer it. How you said that it was going to be a couple of days with Brandon and Sarah sleeping together to get her pregnant, which would be like an ovulation cycle, but you said it went on for like a week. Mm-hmm. I mean, how did you break it up? How did you tell them, to quit being with each other?
I just told Sarah that she needed to stop or I was going to leave. So she stopped, but I guess did it behind my back when I wasn't aware of it. So
And how did you meet Adrien?
I already went over this. I told you guys I met him from Sarah bringing him home from the taxi ride.
So, again, I think that, well, of course she didn't stop, because it sounds like Sarah, sort of like she just likes to get with everybody. And again, I think that part of, or the reasoning to get her to stop was, I will find you a kid. Again, that's my theory. You guys, please let me know what you think of that one.
And we rented a U-Haul little utility trailer and had to go pick up some of his stuff out of his truck, like his toolbox and his belongings, from the impound lot where the truck went, the wrecking yard.
Where was that at?
In Burns, Oregon.
In Burns, Oregon? Oh, okay.
Burns, Oregon, yeah.
I just appreciate you being so honest.
Not a problem.
I love the way she says that. I just appreciate you being so honest. And you have Stacey going, no problem. Not even looking in the camera.
She wants to know if you're cooperating with law enforcement.
I've cooperated in every which way that I could. I've told them everything that I'm telling you guys. So, yes.
Well, I know today you said they really won't talk to you anymore. Maybe it's because they're done with you.
I guess. I don't know. They haven't approached me or tried to ask me questions since my interviews with them. So I don't really have anything else to offer them. I don't know anything other than what I've told them and told you guys. So.
When Brandon said that they had to go get some milk at the convenience store, did you see anybody coming back with milk?
No.
All right, so you're cooperating with law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Stormy said, Brandon and Sarah failed the polygraphs. Can Stacey think of anywhere they could have put Monkey that law enforcement hasn't looked?
Not at all. I know absolutely nothing regarding Michael Vaughn. If, like I was telling Brooks this morning, if I knew anything about the disappearance, I had any suspicion about it, I had any relative knowledge, I would have been the first person to go say something to law enforcement. I wouldn't have held back. I'm not okay with him disappearing at all.
Well, and stupid question, why didn't you and Sarah just adopt a child?
We can't. You can't adopt a child if you're a felon.
Oh, okay.
Interesting, isn't it? They can't have a baby of their own because Stacey's impotent. And Stacey's pissed off that she's screwing Brandon and Adrien and probably anybody else's pogo stick that she can get involved with. And they can't adopt, so what are they going to do? I think they did what happened was they decided to take somebody else's child.
Now, are you aware that Sarah had Michael's poster on your refrigerator?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we posted that there together. That was specifically because to show support. Just like I told you, posting the his profile picture on my Facebook. That was literally to show support. Just like people were doing the blue lights. That was all to show support. It was just in support in favor of Michael.
Well, is there anything that you've told the police that isn't quite true?
Not at all.
You haven't lied to the police at all just because you were nervous or scared?
Not one bit. I gave the police and the detectives everything that I could. What I'm telling you guys is what I told the detectives.
He is, I don't know if he's a good liar or if he thinks he's a good liar. He seemingly convinced a few people during some of these interviews that he was telling the truth. But I ain't buying it. I am not buying it. And I'm pretty sure the detectives aren't buying what he's selling either.
Have they made you give any kind of, statement or confession?
No.
Or tried to?
Yeah. But I don't know anything. I given them everything that I could. And I think they see that now, which is why they're not questioning me.
Did they interrogate you?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you said you passed the polygraph and they told you that Sarah and Brandon failed theirs. When did they tell you that?
I found out the same day. Because they tried calling my mom and asking her if she thought I would have anything to do with it. She was like, absolutely not. And they told my mom that, Stacey took a polygraph test and he passed, and Sarah and Brandon failed theirs. So they that was relayed by the detective to my mom. My mom told me.
Oh wow, she must be.
She's hurt. She's devastated that I'm even having to go through all this. I will tell people this though, that should they ever attempt to charge me for this, they're in over their heads, and they're looking at a very, very, very hefty lawsuit. I just want to let people know that.
Hearing that about 3 or 4 times now, do you think that Stacey's little threat there scares Chief Huff and his team as well as the FBI? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think your public defender or whoever. No, Stacey. Trust me, if they charge and arrest you, they will have plenty of evidence. Trust me.
Who's in for a lawsuit?
Everybody, all the people that are the law enforcement agencies, the FBI, they're all in over their heads right now, especially over something thinking that all. And I can tell you that the only shit that they have right now is hearsay. It's he said this, she said that. The detectives played me a couple of video clips when they interviewed me of with like Sarah's stepmom or Sarah's foster mom, how Sarah's foster mom was like, oh, Sarah told me that Stacey may have had something to do with the kidnapping and the disappearance and the burying of the body. So it's all literally hearsay. There's no all the video clips that they played, even my lawyer was like, this is pathetic. He goes, they literally have nothing on you. And they're not going to have anything on me. I was not part of this.
You weren't part of what, Stacey? You weren't part of abducting someone's child, someone's baby? You weren't part of a cover-up? And you weren't part of much more. And you're not part of all the lies, the deceptions. They will have more than what Sarah's mom has said, what Sarah has said, what Brandon has said, Adrien, Tina. They'll have much more than hearsay. When, I don't want to say if, actually I believe when they charge you and put those cuffs on, buddy, they will have evidence. They'll have evidence.
At all. There was no part of me that was part of that. And I would never be a part of that. I would never associate with that. I would have literally probably, if I would have known that somebody had done that and I had known that person, I would have killed them.
Well, I can imagine. What do you think should happen to the person that abducted Michael?
I think they should be punished for the rest of their life. I think they should rot in prison. I think they should suffer and reap what they did. Absolutely.
Can we play this for Stacey when goes in front of for his trial, and the jury convicts him for hurting Monkey, for taking and hurting Monkey. Can we play this at his sentencing? Because this needs to be played at his sentencing.
Now, did you talk to any inmates when you were in jail about the abduction of Michael Vaughn?
It was self-explanatory. I was all over the news. I just told people that I wasn't going to talk about it because it's, anybody could turn a story around or twist it, yeah, I was questioned about it numerous times, but I wouldn't answer questions. Not to anybody like that. That's not their fucking business.
The people in jail.
Correct.
Well, did Brandon try to get an alibi after the interviews?
I have no idea. I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. I wasn't part of him being interviewed, so I don't know. Again, I will not answer questions, and I can honestly tell the truth too.
If there's anything you could say to the family of Michael Vaughn, what would you say?
I would say that I am extremely sorry that your little boy was abducted, and I would want them to know that my heart is 100% with them. I also want them to know that if I ever were to come in contact with a person, if this person was found that did this, they would be in a very, very, very huge world of hurt. And that comes from the bottom of my heart.
Do you kind of wonder if that's like a under, I don't know the right terminology for it, like a sort of a confession, but not like a slid, he's trying to say, oh, I'm really sorry that this happened to you, and they should be, whoever did it should be punished because that's awful. Yeah. What crap you're selling here, no one's buying it. Monkey's Army is not buying it. You are part of the abduction of Monkey. In my opinion, I have to be careful because he's not been charged at this point, guys. So I have to be careful, okay? My opinion is he's allegedly involved in the abduction of little Monkey. And his words and little, oh, I'm so sorry and I hope this person gets punished. All this stuff is almost like he's talking to himself. And I don't know, it's like his inner, I don't know. I mean, it's just very strange to me. It's a very odd words that he uses here. The words are just very strange to me. Let me know if you guys agree on that.
I'm sorry, Brandy, and I'm sorry, Tyler, for everything that you're going through.
I'm sorry, Brandy. I'm sorry, Tyler, for everything you're going through. Why would you say that if you don't have anything to do with it, Stacey? Why would you say that? It blows my mind when I've heard that about 4 or 5 times. It blows my mind, the words that are coming out of this guy's mouth. It blows my mind.
And I wish, and I pray every day, and I cry nightly that this little boy comes home.
You pray every night because you know you effed up. You pray that he comes home because you know that you all screwed up. There's nothing else you can do, allegedly. You're praying because you know you're screwed, and you're crying because you know one day they are going to come bust down your door wherever you are and haul you back to jail.
Are you upset that they put your picture up as a suspect?
I'm very upset because I didn't have anything to do with it. They have literally gotten backwards with things. I know for a fact I would never do something like this. Ever.
Hang on one second. I know for a fact that I wouldn't do this. Again, listen to the words he chooses in these responses. Listen to what comes out of Stacey's mouth. Very, very telling, in my opinion.
And to answer your question, Vet Girl, I have no idea why Brandon blames me for everything. It's pathetic. You know, they always say the first person to blame somebody is usually the first person that did it. So maybe, I don't know. I won't speak out of context because it's not my place to speak. I will only speak the truth and what I know. But it is bullshit that he blames me for this.
Well, I don't think you're speaking the truth. Well, not exactly, anyway. But I think you're kind of doing it in how you're saying it's backwards that they shared your picture. Maybe it's backwards on how you're responding to this interview. Food for thought.
Did Brandon never call you? And because I mean, he does speak around the internet. Did he ever call you and want you to meet him for an alibi?
No, never. Not once.
And I don't mean to get into your business, but I mean, with fetal alcohol syndrome, can that cause someone to act without thinking of the consequences? Is that part of the diagnosis?
Like impulse control? Sometimes. But I've been in group homes I was in for group homes from 11 to 23. And I took and exercised every amount of counseling and therapy that I could to be who I am today. So I know I would not make a decision like that. No. Even impulsively. I mean, no matter how bad of a position I was in or how bad Sarah wanted a kid, you got me fucked up if you think that I'm going to go through and try to do something like that.
That was good. I'm telling you what. She's trying to kind of give him an out there. Do you think your fetal alcohol, your issue may cause you to do something? And he's like, well, maybe. But no, I would never do that. No. Yeah.
Was it a huge argument with you guys? Her wanting a child? I don't mean to say huge argument.
No, I mean it wasn't really an argument. It was just you know, me telling her that I don't think it's a good idea.
Did law enforcement ever talk to you before November of 2022?
They came and did interviews with us, yeah. They interviewed us at the house, asking if we seen anything, asking if we know anything. No, we don't. I don't even know this person.
So this is a weird question, and you don't have to answer it. Again, if you're not comfortable, don't do it.
Okay.
If Sarah had had a child or was pregnant, would she stop having sex with Adrien or Brandon?
I don't think so. I think Sarah was just that type of girl, that woman who demanded, who required sexual attention, and I wasn't going to give it to her. So I don't know. She apparently wanted to find it elsewhere. So I mean, it's a shitty feeling. It sucks, but she was going to do what she was going to do, regardless of my opinion. So, what are my feelings?
All right. Well, Arizona and 8th Street is only a few hundred feet from the area where Michael was last seen.
No, it's probably like, I don't know, like a tenth of a mile. But even still, I don't know how or why he would even be seen in our neighborhood when he lives completely on the other side of the subdivision. So or the other side of it, in a different neighborhood. He doesn't even live in a subdivision. From what I understand, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you told me where the Vaughn family lives. Let's look at 8th in Arizona.
Yep, 8th in Arizona. 8th. So you see where the Vaughn family picture. This says Vaughn's family home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all the housing that's below that, you see before the patch of the gray pasture right there. So all the housing that's before that, in between the gray pasture and the Vaughn family home. So that's 8th Street right there. That little road that goes, you see there's one road going straight down that connects all the way to the green pasture at the end on the left. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, so you literally, so Arizona is that road that is right after all those houses on the left.
Well, where were you coming from that you had to put in power steering fluid?
Outside of the subdivision. So we exited our subdivision and pulled off. And you see that entrance on the right? So right across from the green pasture, right? On the big piece of green pasture on the left side of, I don't know if you see it the same way I do, but the only big dark green pasture that's right there on the left. Okay, that road right there that divides the housing on where it says searching, and the road, and then there's that green pasture. So that little road right there, you pull out of the subdivision. We literally pulled off to the side of the road, right there at the corner. There's like a stop sign at that road, and we pulled off before the stop sign.
Now, what were Sarah and Brandon doing when you were working on the truck?
Sitting in the truck.
They didn't get out?
No, they didn't need to get out. It was a quick fix. We just had to put power steering fluid in.
So I'm not going to get into the third part when he actually slips up. But he goes on to say that he saw a child in a neighbor's yard while he was putting in this power steering fluid. And he gets all tongue-tied, changes the story. Oh no, it's a girl, it's a boy, it doesn't look like Michael, this or that. Yeah. Bunch of crap. I don't even think they were putting power steering fluid in the car. I think that is a BS excuse. In my opinion, of course.
Okay. Do you think think maybe they hid from the cameras going into the garage? And where were you when they were going in?
I was in the truck waiting where I normally should have been. I don't have a bladder problem like Sarah does, so I didn't have to use the restroom, so I just waited. But I can tell you that nothing was brought into the house, if that's what you're asking. Or if that's what we were getting to.
No, I didn't ask that.
I don't know, but people would probably ask that. So just to cover that ground, no, there was nothing being brought in. But yeah, and I think it was to avoid the cameras, correct.
Who do you think could have buried Michael in your backyard?
No idea. I'm not going to answer that either because I will not speak on something I do not know the truth to. I don't even want to guess. I don't want to know.
Because there's you and Sarah in the front seat.
Caesar and Brandon in the back. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Out of all of them, who do you think could have put him there? Just your opinion.
I don't know. I think Adrien probably would have had a very good part in it, considering he's well known for human trafficking. I cry every day, just so you guys are aware. Like, this hurts me. I should never have been associated or brought into it. I should have never been married to Sarah. I'm hurting. It hurts me. It tears me up every day.
What tears you up every day, Stacey? The fact that you screwed up? You took someone's child, you stole him, and now you're lying about it? And you're crying yourself to sleep because one day the cops are going to come to your door? Yeah, I think that's exactly what you're feeling. You feel regret, you feel sorry for yourself, and the walls are closing in.
Did you go out and look for Michael Vaughn yourself?
I did a couple drives, but it wasn't wasn't like extensive. I did go out and look, but I didn't go out at the same time Brandon and Sarah went out. No. But I did look for the boy like the next day or something like that.
The boy? His name is Michael. His name is Michael Joseph Vaughn, and he's not the boy. His name is Michael.
Well, I mean, where were you when they were out looking for Michael?
I told you where I was. I was at home taking detaching the car from the truck. I was taking up the whole length of the driveway and then some.
Well, what do you think Adrien did? Because in my opinion, you've been manipulated and you're a victim as well.
I don't know. I don't, again, that's something I don't feel comfortable talking about because I it's like putting the cart before the horse. I told you I'm not going to speak on something I don't know the answer to, even if it's an opinion. Like I don't have a response for that. I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think about the fact that any three of those people, any four of those people, any three of the people could have something to do with it.
You say four. Who would be the fourth? Because we have
Caesar. You brought up Caesar.
Okay.
You talked about Caesar. I don't know. I'm just saying you brought up a fourth person, so I was including the fourth person.
Oh no, I got you. Do you think they're going to charge you?
I don't know what to think. I hope not. I didn't do anything. They don't have evidence. Like, I don't know where they think they're going to, but like I said, I've already got my lawyer on standby who's already who's already ready, like for if anything happens. You know, like I'm prepared. Like they're in for a fight if they're going to try to charge me. I can tell you that. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to take it straight to the box, and they're going to lose. I'm going to make them look like a bunch of bitches, to be honest.
The FBI and ISP and Fruitland.
Oh yeah, they're in for a nice little treat. They don't got shit on me. I can tell everybody that they have nothing on me, and what little shit they think they have on me is not sufficient evidence. And even if they do, they said that they apparently have evidence of him being in the house. Well, I'm pretty sure that kid's never been in a house a day in his life, so I don't know where they even come up with that. But should they ever charge me, they're in for a very, 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 very angry person and a very long, huge lawsuit.
Wow. That's so telling. The way he talks. And you guys catch that he says he's never been in that house a day in his life. Catch that, didn't you? That puts a punch in my gut. But Sarah, you sure talk big talk. And I'm sure when the detectives and the FBI and they all watch these interviews, you think that they were scared of you and your idle threats? I don't think so. I really don't. They probably got a good chuckle, and then they moved on. Because you don't have a lawyer on retainer. You don't even have a place to live. You don't have a jacket that fits. We learned that in the second interview. Yeah. Your lies are they just keep coming and coming and coming. But alright, so let's jump to the second interview video. It's going to cover a few pieces on that. And then I will close this one out, and I will do another video probably in the next week. I don't know how quickly I'll get to it. And maybe I can compile more of the timeline on that way. But let's jump to the second part of the interview.
When did authorities tell you they were digging up your former backyard?
Ow. It was like they came and questioned me like during the search, or during the dig up. They had asked me some questions and I couldn't give them anything. I was like, I don't have any information to give you. But it was during the time they were digging, if I remember right.
Is that when they polygraphed you?
They polygraphed me right after I got arrested, like on May 19th.
Oh.
Of 20 or 22.
But was that in connection with Michael or about the gun stuff? Oh, they had questions about Michael then?
What?
They had questions about Michael in May?
Yeah, it's just exactly all the polygraph was about was Michael.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And like I said yesterday, I passed. I was the only one out of Brandon, Sarah, and me. I was the only person to pass the polygraph test.
Okay, two things. I don't know if I think he's lying that he passed the polygraph. That's my opinion. And secondly, the polygraph, as we've discussed here on the channel before, is just a tool. It's an investigative tool. And even if he passed it, he could have beat it. I mean, he could have, figured out a way to pass it. So to me, pass or no pass of a polygraph, it only sorta kinda means something. You know?
Do you have any theory on what happened to Michael?
No. I guess a theory, like hypothetically speaking, is that what you're asking?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's possible that Brandon or Adrien or Sarah could have had something to do with it. Is like I said, as much as they're deceitful and dishonest and liars, I think it's possible. But I don't. Again, I don't want to speak on something that I don't know an honest truth about.
Oh no, it's just theory.
Yeah, no, anything's possible. I mean, it's anything's possible.
Oh, yeah, Stacey. Anything's possible. Yeah, like you saying, I don't want to speak on things I don't really know, or really what you're saying is, I'm not going to tell you what I really know because that's going to put me in hot water. Yep.
I mean, just your opinion. I mean, you know him way better than any of us do.
Which is why it's so hard for me to make an opinion, because I wouldn't have thought they would have had something to do with it.
Right. No, I got you. So we went through the cars.
Yep.
Why did Brandon say you were at home all day?
I was not at home all day.
When you clearly were.
I know. I don't. Again, if you'd notice on any of Brandon's videos, he's not accurate at any of the information. Brandon, the difference in Brandon and I when we're doing our interviews is I'm sitting here telling you and giving you timestamps or giving you, at least a date. Brandon can't even do that. He's hypothetical with everything he's saying. His information is inaccurate. There's nothing honest with Brandon. So I don't know why he's saying that I was at home all day, because I know for a fact that I wasn't. I was gone doing a taxi ride.
You also had plenty of time to get all your ducks in a row, so to speak, Stacey. And while you were in jail, I mean, because you didn't have much else to do, get all your ducks in a row, and before you decided to come on, say, CLL, and do your little tour of some of the YouTube channels and tell your story. So, by you saying I know my timestamps, as in saying I have my quote-unquote receipts, I just think you planned better, in my opinion. And then you had Brandon, who was just hanging out in the hot tub drinking beer, who he could care less. And he just decided to tell a story. So, I think you're both full of it, but there's truth hidden in these lies.
So what would Brandon have to lie about? Probably everything. I think that he's trying to perhaps make a cover up for his fuck up, and I think he's just being deceitful about everything. I think he's trying to. I think he knows that he's probably maybe guilty, but I don't know. I think nothing. I can tell you that he's not accurate with any of the information he's putting out there.
That girl said, what would he want to say to the abductor or abductors if they were watching?
I would want to say that I hope whoever this person is, I hope that he rots in prison for the rest of his life, or he gets killed. I hope he reaps what he did. And I want justice for that family just as much as anybody else does.
Again, I want to play, well, I think that I want these quotes, these interview pieces where he says what should happen to the abductors. I want that played at his sentencing. If he's guilty. Just got to be careful with the words there. But it needs to be played. What do you guys think?
I can't tell you how many times I cry every day, and I'm saddened because this little boy hasn't come home yet to his family that deserves him, that needs him the most.
Ugh. You think he's been reading the internet? Yep. You can pretend to be in Monkey's Army, Stacey. But we know you are not. Not even remotely in Monkey's Army. Nope.
All over the news. But you didn't have a TV, right?
No. Nope.
What do you look at on your phone? Because you wouldn't believe my social media. It's
Oh, I know. It's all over the news. Right now, what do I look at on my phone?
Well, at that time or whatever. I'm just saying you got to see my social media. I know.
I believe it. Honestly, like at that, I did a lot of Craigslist surfing. I never looked at the news or paid attention. Facebook, yeah, there was things all over Facebook with his disappearance, but hence the reason I showed my support and put his profile picture as his picture as my profile pic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the only thing I did with social media with him. Yeah, exactly. That one.
You didn't post anything but a photo. It doesn't say this child is missing. It doesn't say please help us find little Michael Monkey Vaughn. It doesn't say anything. It's just a picture of someone else's child. That's weird. That's creepy as hell. That is not why you changed your profile photo to Michael's. It was not in support of his family and him coming home to them. That's not at all why you shared his picture, Stacey, and you damn well know it.
Yep. That was on my profile picture.
Where did you get the picture?
It was all over media. I just copy and pasted it.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Oakley. Was Oakley friendly with Brandon?
All the time. Oakley loved anybody and everybody. That's the way I raised her to be.
Now, you said that, like most dogs, she would dig holes in the yard.
Yep.
What did you have to do to fill in the holes?
We didn't do anything. We just let the holes be holes. I mean, there was no point in trying to fill them up because she was just going to dig holes in another place.
Did she ever get out of the fence or dig out of the fence?
Not at all. She stayed in the backyard. She wasn't an escape dog at all. I raised her a lot better than that. She was very mellow. She was peaceful. She loved to get attention. The most loving dog I've ever had in my life. The best dog I've ever had in my life. I love that dog more than I love Sarah. It doesn't take long.
I'm getting confused about the timeline, and I'm sorry I keep asking the same questions. I'm a little slow today because, we had this huge snowstorm. Anyhow, how long were y'all gone before going to tow the car?
Like I said, I was gone from like 1 to 3:30 or 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I don't know how long Sarah was gone. She was home when I got home. So Southwest 8th Street. Sarah was with us, Batgirl. I didn't have to speak with her on the phone. She was literally in the truck with me. She was the one driving.
Okay, so she was driving
Correct.
the entire day?
For the whole entire towing, yes. And to drive to Brenda's house to go get the vehicle, correct.
Okay. I just got confused because yesterday you said there was no holes in the yard. And
No, I told you yesterday that Oakley dug. I said that. I said Oakley was a digger, but she didn't dig anything up like anything that would resemble anything that had to do with Michael or a body.
Why the hell would he say that? Oh, she didn't dig anything up like a body or anything. Who the frick would say that? That is very strange. And I know we're talking about Michael Vaughn here in the timeline, but to me, very, very sus that he would even say that. And later on, he goes to talk about, I believe that's in the third interview, which we're not going to go through in this one. He talks about how the bag, this duffel bag that Brandon took, that he supposedly put clothes in to bring to his mother's house, it wasn't big enough to fit a child in or anything. What the hell, dude? Those are not normal things you would say.
were you part of any Facebook groups?
All the time. Yeah, absolutely.
For Michael Vaughn?
No. I think I supported him and I think one group that was publicized, but I don't remember what that group was called. But
well,
yes, I was in support of it.
I was in one Finding Michael,
I think that was it.
Okay, so you were a part of that group.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I tried to show all my love and support.
Yeah, you tried to show all your love and support where really you were just trying to see if anyone was talking about you. They were talking about, Sarah, Brandon, Adrien. They were talking about any of your vehicles. They were talking about your house on Red Wing Street. You were just keeping an eye out. Just like when Brandon said in his interview that they were looking for the missing persons report. Yeah. Nervous? Feeling like you need to keep watching your back? I think that's because y'all are guilty as sin. And God forbid someone figured out, which they did, which Fruitland PD, the FBI, they know exactly what's going on. That's been submitted to the DA's office. Like I said, we're just waiting for the grand jury now, Stacey. Right now, we're waiting for the grand jury. And that grand jury is going to put out probable cause affidavits. Well, they're going to put out indictments. And like I said, one day, you're going to hear this. Although maybe they won't knock. They might just kick your door down. But either way, you're not going to see it coming. So, all this talk that you've done with your, I'm an open book, I'm telling my story, I'm really sorry for Brandy and Tyler and this family, and I hope whoever did this goes to jail forever and all, yada, yada, yada. Wow, you talk a good talk, Stacey. But I see right through you, buddy. I see right through you. And I'm telling you, tick tock, buddy, tick tock. The clock is ticking. And one day, the timer's going to go. And that'll be the end of it. And you will find yourself back behind bars. So that's where I'm going to stop on this one right now. So that was her first two parts, a lot of the key stuff. There's a lot more that she went into, guys. I mean, really. And please do check out the interviews And if you haven't already, and definitely subscribe to Crime Lines and Lies, CLL. But my love, as always, my prayers, my hugs from Florida go out to Brandy, Tyler, Buggy, the 2 older children, Grandpa. I just, words can never be enough. All I can do is express my love and support and continue to share Michael's face and to continue to be an advocate for him. Because truly, he deserves it. And the justice is coming. Justice is coming. And it's going to come. Like I said, it may not be tomorrow, but one day it will be the day. One day it'll be the day. And I know I will be definitely very, very happy because this family deserves answers. I want this family, they're never going to be whole again. They're never going to be whole again. But they deserve the closure. They deserve justice for him. And nothing less than that. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied. But nothing less than closure and getting justice. That's exactly what needs to happen. And I am with Monkey's family all the way through. I'm with them till the end, until justice is had for sweet Michael. All right, guys, let me know what you think of this case. What you think of Stacey's interviews, what you think of the other 3 suspects in the case. And definitely go check out CLL. With that said, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.